Good morning, America. This is Dr.Turi, and the title of the newsletter associated with this video is George Noory Coast to Coast Show. That was last night. The Superconscious, Travis Walton, Draco, and 2020 predictions. Okay, that is a long title. The show last night with George was absolutely phenomenal, like always. In fact, at 5:30 this morning, my telephone rang and still red hot. So disconnected. That's the best way that I can do, because to get an avalanche of people that needs my work to regenerate. And to me, that's a good signal that I did a good job and they want more. This being said, you can see that I'm not exactly myself. I have to take some decongestant for my throat so I can breathe and I can sleep. Knocks me out a little bit. So I'm not at my best just now, but I still have the energy to do what I have to do. So as explained on the radio show last night, if you did not listen to it, everything was absolutely phenomenal in this cruise. My slideshow, UFO slideshow, was very well received. And when I announced after my first lecture that I was going to give the proof that ET Draco actually worked through me, the type of response I had was kind of expected. You know, people thought, oh, he's crazy, he lost it. How can he prove ETs are real? Well, my friends, for your information, extraterrestrials don't speak French, they don't speak English, and they use telepathy. So I did a few things and I ended up with what you call some chosen one. I think it was 5 of them. I asked them to sit around the table, and on the rest, it was a lot of people that came back for my second lecture. And the rest of the people were there, and I said, okay, all this is videotape, everything is in the city, but you know, you're allowed to use your phone. I was scared to death because I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, but I dropped the bomb. I was able to do something that literally you have to be there to really appreciate it. Then I'm not going to give you the details. I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I proved to all these people that Draco is very real by doing something that nobody has ever done. And I don't think anybody will be able to do it. So there are 2 of my videos. My genius webmaster will put those 2 videos on the Cosmic Codes. So if you want to listen to the full lectures and if you want to see the reality of Draco manifesting on that table, all you got to do is become a VIP. Okay? I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to cough. I have to do that. So I apologize if sometimes I'm clearing my throat. So this being said, I'm not sure if I will be allowed in the future to do it again in my future UFO conferences. And I do have a few set up already, but I'll give my best shot. So if you join me, maybe if you are a chosen one, you will have to go through the same process that I did when I was on the ship. I'm not going to give you no explanation, you know, get the CDs when it's available and get all the detail, be part of that incredible night and enjoy it. What's interesting is once I have introduced all the great UFO speakers that I cruised the world with and I became friend with, that's when I start my slideshow. Respecting people is very important, especially with the legacy they left to the world of ufology. I usually, by respect, attend as much lecture as I can, and I attended everybody's lecture at least once. But the people who could have learned the most from me, or the experts, could not make it, or they were too busy somewhere else, and they didn't show up. So talk about missing the boat. Well, maybe they get the CDs and they can see what I did. Well, that's how it is. This is how it works. Now, last night on that show, I have explained the power of the subconscious and how the subconscious can do incredible things for or against you if you're not aware of it. And how you can use that power constructively is also offered to you if you know how. It's a matter of education. Knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. So if you have listened to the show with George Noory, good for you. That was 2 hours, a tremendous amount of information. Time flew by. Obviously, I did a good job because I got a lot of support and still tons of email pouring. So listen to the show. Okay, oh, get my video, whatever it is. So on that show, I also did some reading to some people. And I guided them as much as I could with the little time that I had. But one person, his name is Bill, he gave me his date of birth. I entered it immediately on my software. And when I saw it, wow, I stopped him. He started to talk. And I said, listen. And I started to explain to him that he was very suicidal. I explained to him that I had a friend born with the same exact UCI, the same exact stars, a unique celestial identity. And regardless of my efforts, he committed suicide. So I took his call apart and I told him on the air that I will help him. Helping him means also for me degenerating, because right now I can't do it. But I'm doing it the best way, universally, because this case is so very important. And you need to read. You need to read click on the link. You need to read is the email that he sent me. Of course, I respect people's privacy. So his name, private area, I'm not discussing. I'm not exposed. That's a given. But this is what he says. I'm Bill, who spoke to on the phone last night. I spoke of my profound 10 years severe depressions and at times suicidal ideation. From all the essence being familiar dysfunction plus severe childhood trauma. My birthday is, again, the same exact birthday, September, etc., as my friends. I have much to divulge, and I hope you may be able to actually save me from myself. When you mentioned that I was a miracle, I was alive still, that hit me clear and true, etc., etc. Read it, read the rest. What I'm trying to say is I knew immediately, and Draco gave me the red light. Okay, that is somebody that needs a lot of help. And the sad reality that, suicide is just getting out of order. So I'm going to keep my promise to help this person. I know in order for anybody that is totally infected by the reptilians, and that could be either by accident, ingesting behind the counter, prescription, it could be smoking, drinking, using drugs. I don't know what Bill did, it's his own right. But somewhere, somehow, like me, when I got infected, I was also contemplating suicide. I got cancer, and I got, I saved myself literally because of that cosmic wisdom. And I was helping Larry, my friend, constantly. I was with him day and night in order to regenerate him. And I know the type of effort that needs to be done to keep somebody afloat. What I can tell you, Bill, is that the tail of the dragon is in your mind, okay, is in your consciousness. To have it in the subconscious is even worse. So you still have chance to control that tail of the dragon. Scorpio is a stinger. The past, the guilt, negativity, and so forth. It's a very, very powerful and very nasty energy. So the idea is for you to kill that scorpion and build the ego, which means being above whatever hell you went through in life. Obviously, you went through hell from the get-go, but you need to realize that you have chosen your parents, you have chosen your stars, you have chosen all the hell you had to go through. You got to pay karma. You throw something up, it's going to come down. You got to pay your karma. So you have to accept that if you're going through hell in this lifetime, it's because you're paying off what you're gonna get in the next one. So those who have this type of dragon, there's millions of people who have the dragon either in the third house of critical thinking in the mind or in the subconscious. It's absolutely devastating because you feel constantly, you don't want to be here. You just want to get out of here. And again, drugs, depression, negativity, disease, everything will do it. At the end, you know, as I said, people kill everybody with a machine gun or they end up killing themselves. So we don't want that to happen to you, Bill. You have to regenerate. How do you regenerate? You have to regenerate with what Scorpio do best, investigation of metaphysics. You will have to die, hypothetically speaking, hopefully, and then rebirth above all the stress and all the mess that has been imposed upon your life. There is no other way. I cannot help you, really. I can guide you, I can tell you, but I cannot help you. You've got to do it. I had my share, so I know where you came from. I know exactly how you feel. And all the people that I have helped so far who have the same dragon after Larry's death have succeeded. So there is no reason for you not to be able to do so, Beyond. I would suggest you to read my book, Beyond the Secret, maybe to dig into my YouTube video. You got to keep that mind going forward because you have a lot of questions that cannot be necessarily answered by normal people. For you to call last night was not an accident. You know, you hit the superconscious in time and space, and you landed on me. And there was a lot of people who called. In fact, Tom told me, all the lines are blocked, Louis. So you're one of the lucky ones who was able to go through because, again, it's not an accident for you to do so. And again, I'm not in a condition to help you. I'm still recuperating myself from all the work that I did helping a lot of people on that ship. And then I did a lot of walking, and I have still problems with my back and my hip following a surgery. So I had to take painkiller, and then I had to do that. If not, I couldn't walk on the ship to take care of all the people that needed me. So I had degenerated a lot. So I need time for me to recoup, so to speak. So for now, dig into my YouTube video. There is plenty of those that are going to help you. Maybe invest in the 2000 Nostradamus Dragon forecast. Do something to keep your mind afloat. Remember, Scorpio is a stinger. That's the lizard. Okay, you having Scorpio in your mind is like you got to die. You like it or not, you got to die, and you have to rebirth. Incidentally, that leads me to talk about Travis Walton, because Travis Walton was born with the head of the dragon in Scorpio, not the tail, the head. And there's so much to explain how and why Travis has attracted those experiences with the Draconics. Believe me, these were the good guy. He made a mistake. I'll explain it later on. He made a mistake because he's an Aries, he's impulsive. And he was forbidden to do that. He was not asked, he was not invited, so to speak, and he was fried. And had he landed under a Reptilius, he'd be dead. But the Draconics took 5 days to put his body, his mind, and his soul back together and drop him back in this earth. So it's much, much more about Travis. And if you read the newsletter, I'm giving you some direction to what to do if you want to learn all the details. And believe me, there are a lot of things that you have to know. Not only you, but everybody. So, also, good news, the new 2020 Nostradamus Dragon forecast is ready. There is a link in there to click in it and start to investigate what the future has in store for you at a personal level. You also will be informed at a universal level of what is ahead of us all. More interesting spiritual awakening series are awaiting you. Tom, which is the producers of George Noory on Coast to Coast, is also managing all my conferences right now. And we are in the process of getting me to Los Angeles to teach you all about the superconscious, to teach you about Nostradamus astrology. Of course, I will there do my best to prove to you that Draco is real. You'll be there when I do it. So we don't have the date yet because this is being in the works, and we have to go around what I already have had set, my conference and trips and cruise and everything that's ahead of me. So once we have all the detail, if you're in Los Angeles, California, or wherever you are, if you really, really want to get close to the divine, I'm telling you, there is only one Dr. Turi. And I am speaking to an extraterrestrials. And you can't, if you know the people that were on that cruise, or if they put that video on YouTube, I don't know. All I can tell you is talk to them, okay? And if you want to know a little bit more, when those 2 CDs, MP3 file will be on the Cosmic Code, then you can watch. It's about an hour and a half, 3 hours. 3 hours is teaching, and towards the very end of the second lecture, that's where I introduce Draco, and you can actually, you will witness the power on that table like everybody else did. So I'm real. I hope you trust me. I'm not an egocentric. I'm not here saying I'm the best, follow me, and everybody else is just a piece of junk. Their work is worthless. I'm not there to say that. Absolutely not. All the other UFO speakers have their values. They have their own repertoire of wisdom. They have a different set of stars, not me. But the reality is, a lot of these experts have never seen a UFO again, let alone talking to one, or to an extraterrestrial. So it's all up to you now to see if you resonate with my cosmic vibration, with my cosmic nature, and if you want to learn more. All I can tell you is I have proven that my work is real, because just before going to my UFO conference at sea, I was on a radio show with Dr. J, and I specifically gave him the date of October 7, and I told him to be ready for a lot of people being forced to relocate and experience natural disaster. And exactly on the 7th, Japan experienced Typhoon Hagibis. So you have it on the radio, you have it in my newsletter, you have it in my the video that I just did before this one. You have all the proof that Draco is real. Draco should be trusted, and you should do everything that you can to connect with the Draconis and regenerate from the forces of the sun. So there is all sorts of very, very interesting things that are in progress. The most important one, of course, as I mentioned earlier, will be this series that we're going to do with Tom Deinheiser in Los Angeles, where we'll give you the dates, we'll give you the timing, we will give you the information in time. There are a few UFO conferences that I have to attend and speak again. I'll do my best to introduce Draco. It worked that night. I hope it will work again. What else? I want to thank, of course, George Noory for having me on his show again. I want to thank, of course, my good friend Dr. J for being also a platform to allow me to make my predictions. I also have a lot of radio hosts who had me in the past regularly on their show. And that included my good friend in Canada. So all I'm trying to say, my friends, life is a constant process of unarguable and impossible to control changes. And it's the same with your psyche. You have to grow. You have to understand the part you play in God's cosmic design. And in order for you to make such progress, you got to be curious. You got to challenge yourself. You have to be part of a group of humans, which I call the superhuman, that are curious and willing to open up to the divine. Remember, magnet will attract a piece of wood. It's only if you ask that you will receive. And it's only when you're ready that the right teacher will appear. And in that respect, I think I am the right teacher for you. If not, you wouldn't be here. All right, my friend, give me another few days before I can really recoup. All the others are piling up. I'm doing all that I can to regenerate and regenerate you too, but I have my limits, and I really worked my butt off last few days. So I need another cruise. All right, my good friend, I will take this opportunity to thank every one of you for listening to the show here. And let's do it again when I feel better. Okay. Until then, make it a beautiful life. Okay. Bye-bye.